says each $100 rise in median rent brings with it a 9% increase in homelessness. According to the Government Accountability Office, the average rent has increased over the past 3 years by almost $250. So it may come as no surprise that the U.S. is experiencing a nationwide homelessness crisis. And now one Catholic group is taking an innovative approach to help the homeless. And joining us now is Ginny Ramsey, co-founder and president of the Catholic Action Center in Lexington, Kentucky. Ginny, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. As mentioned, homelessness is pretty much a crisis coast to coast right now. What are you seeing in Lexington and the surrounding areas?
Well, in our 24 years of the Catholic Action Center ministry, we've never seen such numbers. In fact, last Wednesday, we had volunteers and our Street Voice Council, which are folks who are experiencing homelessness, do a very comprehensive survey. And we have come up with numbers that are shocking our community. The number of families, the number of children, the number of elderly and disabled, this is our concern at the Catholic Action Center, trying to take care of the basic needs of the most vulnerable. All of our shelters are filled. We have to do something as a community to care for these most vulnerable men, women, and children.
Definitely. And Ginny, have you noticed an increase in unhoused people since the pandemic began?
Definitely. Our survey showed almost 600 folks that we could get to in that one day. Actually, there's a total of 2,500 that we counted, including programs and shelters and hospitals and jails. But the biggest change that we have seen has to do with the number of people who have been displaced since the pandemic. And sadly, part of it is a lot of folks' mental health. They just give up. Some of these men and women have never experienced homelessness before. Our biggest concern are those who are aging. We baby boomers are increasing numbers of those who are experiencing homelessness in Lexington because they're basically on a fixed income and the rents have increased so much. So we've got a tsunami of reasons, but it is impacting the most vulnerable.
Yeah, and Ginny, tell me about, what your group is doing, the proactive steps it's taking to not only meet the demand of those that are experiencing homelessness, but also to try and get ahead of the problem.
Well, one thing we do is we call in the community. We're a community-based group. We don't take federal, state, local funds. It is the community, and over the years, we've averaged over 12,000 volunteers a year. What we did in this summer is to start training what we call our radical connectors. These are men and women who are wishing to make a difference in the lives of those who are disenfranchised and experiencing homelessness. We have had mentoring programs over the years that is a direct way of making a difference because a lot of those who are experiencing homelessness don't let others know. They're ashamed of it. They need someone who comes and offers them a hand up and cares about them. It's not about numbers. It's not about federal, state, local programs. It's about human to human. And we feel very strongly the call of the gospel and the call of our Catholic social teachings to make a difference in these folks' lives who are being left out.
Yeah, and there is often a stigma around it, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
I kind of want to jump off of what you said, what we're called to do as Catholics for those that are less fortunate. Talk to us about that and what we can do as Catholics to help.
Well, I think that there are many things. Number one is we must not judge the people who are in those circumstances as if it's their fault until we know, particularly the vulnerable and the families. We need to pray for them. We need to be able to support groups that will help them. We are getting ready to start what we call the Give Kids a Home. We just got a report from our Fayette County schools, in Lexington that on the 9th day of school, there were over 300 children that were experiencing homelessness. That's a lot of kids. And that's a lot of kids that are trying to get an education and families that are trying to make it because they put the kids in school. But we've got to support them. We've got to surround them with the care, accountability, and love, because we're all human. All of us are human, and that connection is so important. So our radical connectors have been trained. We're also very excited about our new effort that is the Dignity Station, where we have a new mobile hygiene unit that is going to be delivered next week that has laundry, showers, and restrooms where we can take to the streets where people can have some of the basic human needs of being clean, of having clean clothes, and maybe gives them just that step up to know that they count, that they're important. They're all God's children.
Absolutely. And Ginny, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and for all that you're doing. We appreciate it. God bless you.
Well, God bless you, and thank you for this opportunity.